I have been celibate for 3+ years now. And before you say anything, there's no cobweb here. There's no rust. It's not dried up. In fact, it's as juicy as ever. The poussoir is juicy. Welcome back to my channel. And in case you're new here, my name is Marilyn, like you can tell on my profile. And if you're my regular subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with this asshole here, guys, because I believe that if you subscribe to my channel, you must have faith in me and love my content. That's why you're a subscriber, and I'm supposed to be giving you more and more content about guys. I would love, as much as I would love to be posting regularly here, but life happens. And for me, this is more or less like a hobby for me, not like a full-time job. But if I get to 1K and this channel becomes monetized, of course, I will try to upload regularly, at least 3-4 times a week. But I'm not getting any income from here, so I have to go face my outside job. Now let's talk about why you clicked on this. I can legitimately talk about this because I have been celibate for 3+ years now. And before you say anything, there's no cobweb here. There's no rust. It's not dried up. In fact, it's as juicy as ever. The poussoir is juicy. The poussoir is we're not talking about poussoir, okay? We're talking about celibacy and the benefits, and of course the cons of it, and why I went celibate, guys. Okay, 3 years ago, or 3+ years ago, I was very dissatisfied with life. I was dissatisfied. I wasn't getting any sexual satisfaction, no matter who I did it with. I was unable to love anyone beyond what I can get from them. Also, I was not emotionally available. Like, for example, if I'll be talking to someone, okay, and when it gets time for us to, have intercourse, I don't know if that is a safe word for YouTube though. Have this. I might engage in it, and because I don't get satisfaction from it, I might just block the person afterwards. Like, there was no meaningful commitment, no meaningful relationship, and that translated to other part of my life. Now, because I was dissatisfied with my, with having commitments and relationships, I started having dissatisfaction in other areas of my life, like my job. I lost 2 jobs because of it. I wasn't able to get up from my bed. I was depressed, thoughts of unaliving myself. And when I started having those thoughts, that was when I said, enough is enough. I'm going to really do something about it. And this is what I did. Now, guys, I completely went cold turkey. I stopped having sex, and I stopped seeing people. I started to look inwards for happiness and satisfaction. And I've been on that journey for 3 years now. And for your information, I am in no way religious, but I'm a very spiritual person. I love the concept, or I deal with the concept of karma, the universe, ancestral spirits, demons. I believe they are energies. And I believe that energies don't die, or energies are not created. They just float around the earth, and you attract whatever you project. So I thought, and it resonated with me, that I should go cold turkey, and this is what I found. Now, we're going to be talking about the pros and the cons. Now, let's start with good things here. We'll talk about the pros. Now, FYI, this journey is not for the faint of heart. It's for someone who has resolved to actually change their life and take control of their life. First of all, this happened 1.5 years into the journey. That's about 1 year, 6 months into the journey. That's what I got with this first pro. Now the first pro is that I got healed of sexual trauma. Now guys, we think all this hookup culture, this profile swiping here and there, sneaky link, what do you people call it again? Servicer, just relationships that are just purely for sex. Guys, I found that gives a lot of trauma. There is nothing like engaging sexually with someone who you are emotionally connected to and you're physically attracted to. There is an alignment there, and that connection should be somewhat permanent. The fact that we have reduced our sex life into hookup, guys, if you're doing that right now, please stop, because you are going to have sexual trauma. The not caring after sex, the psychological trauma you get, the emotional trauma you get, it's all gonna add up. And I feel that, especially for sexually active people, that's a cause of, some mental health issues, anxiety, depression, and unfulfillment because of trauma. And to heal that trauma, unfortunately, you have to be celibate. I mean, probably not for everyone, but this is what worked for me. So, and being celibate will help you relieve. There are 4 stages that being celibate helps you. It helps you relieve the trauma, it helps you grieve, and it helps you heal. Because once you have faced your trauma, you've come to terms with your trauma, that's when healing starts. So it kind of makes you rethink. And unfortunately, a lot of people do not want to relieve that trauma. Rather, they hide behind, someone warm, and, they hide under someone, hence engaging in what they're supposed to heal from. Or they face substances. A lot of youths, a lot of people are hooked on drugs these days. That's because of it. They are trying to escape it. But when you go cold turkey, you're forced actually to face that trauma and completely heal from it. And it's not very easy. You're going to have a lot of roadblocks. You're going to have a lot of mental health battle. You're going to cry yourself to sleep. You're going to be paranoid. You're going to be perplexed. But I tell you, after all this, it goes good from there. That's what I'm going to tell you. Try it. Don't take my word for it. Just try it. Number 2, it gets you in tune with yourself. Now, sex for me has always been about the other person. I used to brag about that. Okay. But guys, that is people pleasing. And my introduction to sex was through pornography and through SA at a very young age. So for me, sex was something that I can give in exchange for security, or I could give in exchange for love. It wasn't really about me and pleasing and pleasuring myself. No, I never had that concept of sex until I became celibate. Now, between the 1 month, 3 month mark, that is when you are going to feel a lot of sexual high. Now, I think it's your body noticing the difference, and it's your body telling you that something is wrong. So it's going to increase your libido. This will happen between the 1-3 month mark. But I tell you, don't suppress it. Try to self-pleasure. That's what I did in the first to 6 months. I was self-pleasuring myself with my hands. But at some point, when the highs become much, you start looking for stuff to stuff in there. Please do not stuff. Do not stuff nothing in there. I mean, except you want to. But take it easy. It's going to pass. It's going to pass. It's an opportunity for you to discover what you like. Please yourself. know what you like sexually. These are the months you should. Then the fourth, 5, 6 month, it's a reflection time. For me, that was what I did. That was what happened to me. I started reflecting, I started focusing more on myself. I started focusing more on, my pleasure areas. It was a journey, guys, a self-discovery journey. I discovered a whole bunch of things about myself that ordinarily I wouldn't have even given it a second thought, really, until I decided to go cold turkey. I decided to be celibate. So you want a more in-depth understanding about your sexual situation, go celibate. Let's talk about the third pro. Now, after 6 months, the sexual thoughts are beginning to clear out. So now you have the energy to focus on more, on things that you've left out before, before you started your journey. For me, I took up guitar lessons. I was gifted a guitar 7 years ago. I never played it for once. Okay, I did play it a few times, but I was never good at it. So I took up lessons. If you hear a sound there's a church. I took up lessons and I started playing the guitar, and also I took up some singing lessons because I've always loved singing. But the fact that I never took an interest in trying to enhance my singing abilities, when I went celibate, I started doing that. I started attending, I started going to choirs, attending musical concerts, something unheard of, you know what I mean? I started writing more on my book because I love to write. So I started writing more on my book. I started focusing my energy on other things. And that was why, in the first place, I actually went celibate. For me, because things were not coming together. And fortunately for me, things were beginning to come in. I was having like a clear head space, not focusing on, I'm just super grateful for where I am at the moment, really, because it's as I'm making this video, I'm beginning to relive or re-experience the first time that all this realization began to dawn on me. Guys, I had shivers all over me. I was like, this is what I would have missed out if I continued with what I was doing. So guys, it gave me energy to focus on so many other things. So I can comfortably say I can belt some notes that I know I couldn't do. My writing is going on well. Also, I can play the guitar now. So, and the third or the fourth one, God, I'm bad at numbers. Okay, the fourth one is that you begin to see people for who they are. Now, pay attention to this. You begin to notice a lot of energy around you. Now, for me at first, when I started noticing these energies, both positive and negative, I began to see people for who they actually are. I began to see people beyond their physical appearance. I began to see people for their makeup, for the kind of person they are. And when it started, it was overwhelming for me because a lot of people move around with very bad juju, bad energy, and I'm an empath. So whenever I meet such people, I automatically carry on their energy, and sometimes carrying this energy keeps me down for days. But I've learned to, shield myself from that vibe or move away if it's becoming overwhelming. And also, I've also learned to attract good karma. Whether we like it or not, there are people with good karmic energy. You begin to experience all this spiritual awakening. Okay, you begin to see people. You begin to love people. I used to hate people. I never liked people, really. I preferred to be with animals because I felt that humans were very ingenuine. Humans were very, they are not compassionate. Humans were very selfish. Humans were this, humans were that. It's because my spiritual eyes were not open. I'm not the one to talk about spirituality if you know me in my daily life, but guys, this is real. This is real, guys. You begin to detect energy here and there. Try it. It's like you're having a renewed sense of perception. I've always had this sixth sense things. I've always trusted my sisters, a sixth sense, but it has been blurry for years now. But now my sixth sense is like perfect, awesome. If I feel a thing, I guarantee you 100% that is what it is. And that's what it has done for me. Celibacy has done that for me. It has actually cleansed me and opened my eyes to the realities of this world and see beyond just the physical. Okay? Shit. Hope you're not hearing that. And see beyond just the physical appearance of people. Now let's talk about the health benefits, because I will not go on making this without talking about the health benefits. Now the health benefits is you don't have STIs. Since I became celibate, I have never had a yeast infection, which used to be like, a yearly thing for me and for most women. There is no, my pH is not never off. There is no UTI infection. There is no STI, no unwanted pregnancies, no unnecessary bonding with anybody. That also affects your mental health, unnecessary, irrelevant bonding with someone just because you shared a bed with them. These are the health benefits, guys. No hypersexuality. You now have an on and off switch to switch off, sexuality. When it becomes hyper, there's no more hypersexuality. And guys, another one, no soul ties. My God. This was a hard one for me, no soul ties. When you actually lay down with someone, you share DNA with that person. So you exchange karmic energies. What if that person has bad karma? You get it. You get what that person has. I've heard of some women who, because they laid up with a partner, they laid up with someone, they started having cancers, diabetes, sicknesses they've never had before. All because of that one encounter. Soul ties can keep you down financially. It can keep you from, advancing spiritually. It can destroy you emotionally. It can frustrate you. There are things beyond what we can see. And that's what celibacy has taught me. There are things beyond what we can see. A lot of people, like I said earlier, move with negative karmic energy. And if you lay down with a man, okay, I'm talking about the cishet man. If you lay down with a man who has been a community thing and has, shared his DNA with and mixed his DNA with so many types of poussoir, trust me, you're getting what he's having on a platter of gold, and it leads to so many things. So if you want to cut off soul ties, unfortunately, you just have to go the celibacy route, and you have to make conscious efforts to make declarations every day to free yourself from such ties. So now let's talk about the cons, because it's not an easy thing, and there are cons to these things. I will not deny it. One of them is isolation. It's a very isolating journey, and it's a journey that will make you question everything you know about life. At first, when you start, your anxiety level is going to be high. Your sexual appetite is going to be extremely high. Your emotions are going to be all over the place. What I did at that time was just cry. Crying is actually not bad. Crying is one of the best things the body has, the body invented for itself to deal with trauma. Crying is a stress relief. So all I did at the time, when I was so overwhelmed with all these emotions, I cried several times. I cried. And there is no way you can talk to people about these kind of things, because not everybody understands. In fact, people will worry for you if you're not having sex, because they will think, hell no, something is definitely wrong with you. So it's a very isolating thing. You can't just tell anybody what's happening to you. You can't tell anybody the journey you're going to. And it's even worse off if you have a partner, because now if you have a partner who supports you and both of you are doing this together, it makes it 100 times easy. But sometimes I could understand, especially if the ideal is not from the other person, it becomes frustrating at some point. So if you're partnered up, your relationship is going to strain somehow, especially if sex is an integral part of it. But if you're alone, it's way, way better, because then you deal with your emotions alone. And and trust me, the best part of it is facing the situation alone, because then the victory is phenomenal. The victory is, look at me sounding like a preacher. Then the victory for you is sweet. I mean, you appreciate when you have completed your journey, and yeah, there's no better feeling like that. Another con is now you begin to move from that period of hypersexuality to now low libido, especially at the end of your journey. Now, because your body has learned to not be sexually aroused, not dealt with that emotions of sex, not gone through the emotion of sex, your body begins to forget. Your body begins to forget, like, okay, and your libido begins to drop, because something that you've not brought up for a very long time. So your body understands, and since you did not give your body what it wants, it shuts down on you. So low libido is another thing you will experience. And also you have less interest in sexual activity. But be kind to yourself. It's a journey. Another con is that you get sexual anxiety, especially when you come off your celibacy and you want to go into the real world again, and you want to engage yourself in sex again. You have sexual anxiety because you be like, am I gonna be good enough? I've left this for a while. What if yada yada yada? No, you have that, but trust me, it will pass. It's going to pass, because it always does. So be kind with yourself. Love yourself. And when you come out of the celibacy journey, especially if you want to go through with this, please be kind to yourself and be gentle with yourself. Take it one step at a time. Everything is going to normalize. It's going to take time. And be very, very conscious of who you lay down with again, because you do not want to spoil what you have invested in and what you have, worked for. So be kind to yourself. Choose wisely. Come out of it when you're ready. For me, I'm ready to come out of it, and I am actually, searching for a life partner now. So yeah, and I'm taking my sweet, sweet, sweet time, because I can read energies now. So be kind to yourself. Love yourself. I will see you guys in my next video. And please do subscribe if you like the kind of content. Please give it a thumbs up, and do not forget to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Marilyn_Akano, or at Niger Chick, whatever you choose. Just say hi to me. When you want to resume having sexual intercourse again, please engage in a lot of loving, a lot of care, a lot of talking yourself through it. You have to prepare yourself mentally. You have to prepare your brain through what is going to happen. And most of all, enjoy yourself. Enjoy it, and be thankful and grateful that you were opportuned to at least go through this journey. And most of all, be kind to yourself and please yourself. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.